it's Friday, which means it's time to deploy. We've had a great week. Unfortunately, Jim is busy. We're all busy at this time. It's a big conference season sort of thing. Charlotte, you're not even at home. What's going on? Where are you?
No, I'm actually at a communal workspace in Sydney today in the city, and it's really good. I really like it. But yeah, that might be why I have a bit of background noise. But I have a really nice painting right here, so I
Nice.
chose this one.
I always like looking at people's backgrounds, like what's going on behind you, that sort of thing. I should start using my green screen more and give you and throw you guys for a loop. Anyways, how was everyone week? Charlotte, I assume your week was very busy, just like the rest of us.
Yeah, it's been pretty busy. So I just kind of a deep dive into my next bit of research on AI. So just kind of figuring out what type of avenue we want to go down in that respect, because there's been a lot of recent research about AI, so we don't want to overlap too much.
Anything
So
anything you can
that's
give
kind of
away? Any sneak peeks on
um,
what's happening?
well, I guess I'm still developing it, but I guess it's like the stage of AI integration into the workforce, and it'll just be researching what I guess the last 2 years have been like and what we could predict in the future for it to look like. Yeah,
All right.
that's
A little
probably a
bit
good
cryptic, but
example.
that's okay. I like
Yeah,
cryptic. It's good. And Matt, how was your
still
week?
finalizing.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
build that suspense, right? Yeah, for
Nice.
sure. It was a good week down here. Kids are back at school, but also
Yay.
basketball's back on, so I'm kind of feeling that today after having
Oh
the last
no.
2 weeks off. So, but yeah, no, it's been good. This week I'm actually back on the tools a bit. I'm looking at improving some of our internal deployment processes that we've got for deploying our own things and starting to use some of our cool new features like process templates in Platform Hub
Yes.
and also
Yes.
ephemeral environments that were recently released onto the cloud platform as well. So yeah, pretty exciting times.
It is very exciting. Actually, there's lots of stuff that's been going on. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So, lots of news that's been happening. We just dropped a new update for the Shipped website. So, Ship 25 is coming. Hooray! December 9th and 10th. This is a 2-day virtual event. It's a live stream with a whole bunch of content. So, currently we've got about 35 sessions that people have submitted. We're going to probably end up with about 80 or 90 sessions. These are sessions from folks like you, experts in the field, people who care a great deal about continuous delivery, Kubernetes, GitOps, etc., Octopus integrations, whatever. Registration is now open and available for this thing. If you register, not only will you get updates to the site itself, and you'll get the live stream event site, you also enter a chance to win some fabulous prizes, quote unquote, during the event that we'll be giving away, and we'll be doing a random draw for those prizes. But this is basically our year-end celebration big event that we do every year. We've done it for the past 3 years. So Shipped is now available up at octopus.com/shipped. Register now, register today, and if you're so inclined, you can also register to speak. So this is our sessionized page that we have up, and we have a number of different types of sessions that you can submit. So you can do a lightning talk, you can do a case study, you can do a technical presentation. We have a bunch of tracks that you can also align your session with, and a lot of different levels as well. So if you're interested, if you've got a great story to share around what you've been doing with continuous delivery, continuous deployment, Octopus, CodeFresh, GitOps, Kubernetes, platform engineering, whatever, we would love to see your session. So feel free to submit one or many sessions to our Session page, which is now available. And I know Charlotte and Matt, you are going to be 2 speakers at Shipped, so get ready.
Yep. How about that? I did see that come in, which is pretty exciting. So I've got to think of my own sessions to submit now as well. And I'm sure you'll be on my back over the next few weeks, John, to get that in as well.
Look,
So.
I'm a benevolent dictator when it comes to these type of events. It's fine. Sorry, Charlotte, I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. I'm on a research panel. I'm not quite sure what that means yet, but I'm excited.
Chances are, Steve, you and Matt will be talking a lot about the work that you guys are doing around the research we've done around the state of GitOps, etc. So I'm imagining that's probably what you guys will talk about a great deal. So that should be a lot of fun. Anyways, you at home can register for this in the comfort of your own home. December 9th and 10th, you can watch a bunch of experts talk a lot about things that relate to Octopus, to CodeFresh, to Kubernetes, to GitOps, etc. So we hope you can join us on December 9th and 10th for this wonderful event. And if you're at all curious, you can check out the previous events that we've run. For example, Ship 24, which we ran last year. We had 28 talks, 15 plus hours of content. You can see the keynote. You can watch this all back. So it's generally going to be the same idea. We're going to have a bunch of folks talk a great deal about things that relate to them. And this is coming up in 55 days. So make sure to register now. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your colleagues, whoever might be interested.
It's an excellent barbecue conversation for the weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So, yeah.
Sorry, I got nothing. I'm trying to pitch this. All right. So in terms of other content, we still plowing ahead with webinars. So we've got Costas doing his final 3-part series, part 3 of 3, top Argo CD anti-patterns to avoid when adopting GitOps. This is on October 16th. On October 23rd, Kit and Trent will be doing a webinar entitled Introducing Argo CD in Octopus. So as some of you may know, Argo CD support is now a first-class support inside of Octopus. And so that's awesome if you wanted to integrate with Argo CD in terms of deployment cadences with Octopus. And we have a new one here, which is your platform's gatekeeper problem, why shared responsibility beats control. This will feature myself, Bob, and Ships, and we will be doing a conversation. This will be done in conjunction with the folks over at Platform Engineering. So this will be on November 12th. We have some other ones as well. We're going to be hosting an Octopus 101 Halloween edition at the end of this month. I'm going to have a costume on, as I promised earlier in a previous edition of Deployment Friday. I don't know why I committed to that, but there you go. So you will find all of these up on octopus.com/webinars. I'm sure I'll get a few screenshots sent my way after that next webinar. So there you
Absolutely. Go. Yep. You might even get me up at 5 a.m. for that one to watch it as well. Yeah.
Nice. I appreciate the support. All right. So here's speaking of other things, here's a blog post from Steve entitled Leveling Up Your Deployment Pipelines. This is basically Steve outlines 3 stages of a pipeline maturity. The first stage is your deployment pipeline. That's your basic automation for build, test, and deploy. And so this is stage 1. These are like the 5 levels of anger, right? You start with denial, that sort of thing. The next thing you have is a secure pipeline. That's stage 2. That's when you're integrating security scans. You're using tools like Sneak, for example, secrets management, etc. A lot of stuff's built into Octopus anyway. So make sure you take advantage of that. And then third stage, which I guess is acceptance, is the DevOps pipeline. This is basically where you focus on developer productivity with templates, automation, and documentation. And so this is the 3 stages of pipeline maturity, or as I like to call it, the 3 stages of anger. Eventually get to acceptance, which is you might as well just use Octopus anyway. So he basically emphasizes the fact that evolving incrementally rather than rebuilding pipelines over and over again from scratch is probably the best way to go. And if you want to find out more about this, you can read this blog post here. Did you guys have a chance to review this at all?
Yeah, I had a look at it when it came out, and yeah, I mean, Steve's done a great job of sort of laying everything out here. And I think one of his key messages in here that I sort of took away was like that there's a lot in here, there's a lot to work towards, but it's an incremental game, right, as well. So if you're not quite at this stage yet, you can sort of pick and choose as to the areas that will be of most value to you.
Right.
And also, as you go through it, sort of think about how you can create these as almost reusable modules in your pipelines as well. So instead of sort of building it individually for each application or system that you've got, have an extra think about how you can make them, reusable and templates and modular pieces of build and release pipelines that you can then sort of integrate into all of your other processes that you've got in your organization. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is a bit of this is kind of what I wrote about in the Pulse report, but exactly what you said, Matt, I guess the final stage, which is the DevOps pipeline is what we call it. You want to be mostly just adding more and more features to make the start of each project really easy. So templates is a perfect example. So yeah, exactly. So stage 2 is adding security and secrets management and, getting them directly integrated into the pipeline rather than after the deployment. And then, stage 3 is just to kind of make everything easier. And so you should be able to reuse everything. And it's just, maturity model. I guess it's a goal, an eventual goal of every platform.
I have an issue with this diagram here, Charlotte. It looks like a waterfall, which, as we all know, waterfalls have a bad connotation in the tech industry. So, I'm kidding, of course.
I thought it looked really pretty.
It does. It looks great. Don't get me wrong. I'm just making a comment. That's all. Don't listen to me. Anytime I see a waterfall type diagram, people get antsy, I think.
Just
So
up and down.
yes, that's right. Anyways, there you go. So that's Leveling Up Your Deployment Pipelines by Steve. This is a new publication we have just published. This is the Argo CD Best Practices. This is from Costas, and learn how to create application dependencies, preview your deployments, and create ephemeral environments with Argo CD and GitOps. So if you're at all interested, you can read more about this. This is a publication we now have available. It's a very long, knowing Costas, this is probably bazillions of pages. Yes, 47 pages of awesomeness from Costas talking about how to employ Argo CD in the best and trusted way. This is probably a carryover or an addendum, if you will, or probably the opposite, either or, vice versa, of the webinar series that he's been doing. So if you want to read the report, you can check it out. It's available now, which is awesome. Steve is also writing a lot on the New Stack. The New Stack obviously is a great website for a lot of different resources. This is an article entitled How to Measure AI's Organizational Impact. So if you're at all curious to find out where your organization might be able to leverage AI going forward, you can read this article here from Steve, which talks a great deal about this. Lots of things to obviously think about in terms of its application within your organization. So as he argues here, you make AI a real accelerator, not just an expense, and you need to ground it in your existing goals and metrics. And so Steve talks a little bit about this in his article, making a reference between the difference between Formula One racing and Eco Rally Scotland. Formula One is teams optimized for speed. Whoever crosses the finish line first wins, whereas eco rally teams have a completely different challenge: compete a 500-kilometer route with the best regularity score while using the least energy possible. So basically, Steve talks a little bit about how to apply this in the context of AI. So you start by anchoring your AI initiatives to business objectives you already track. So it's important to track. Obviously, you can't measure without some form of measure. You can't determine whether you have a good or effective goal without measurement. So being able to track this is going to be obviously important. Talks a little bit about proven metrics. So these are your efficiency metrics, your revenue metrics, any metrics around quality, for example, rather than chasing new or flashy AI-only KPIs. Also, make sure that you measure over time and in context. And finally, combine both quantitative data with qualitative feedback to make sure you get a full view of its impact. And so this is sort of a hey, just FYI sort of thing in terms of AI in your organization, something to be aware of going forward in terms of those things, which is great. Awesome.
Yeah, it's really
I love the picture here. Don't be bored. So perfect. All right. Well, it's time now for Support on Friday. All right. So into this week's episode of Support or edition segment, whatever you want to call it, of Support on Friday, we have this question from Thomas, who writes, first he posts the message he got. The step failed. Activity failed with error. Bootstrapper did not return the Bootstrapper service message, which sounds super cryptic, but there you go. So Thomas goes on to read, I'm just reading this out loud. I'm getting the above message when uploading packages to my target server in the project. This is Octopus. It's configured to download the package to the Octopus server and then upload them to the target server. So he's pulling them down, then uploading them to the target. All the uploads that it does are successful, but at the top of the logs, it has this error message. So there's this typically a big red bar that appears at the top of Octopus for this. There isn't a specific step that fails. They're all green circles with a white check, but under the package upload section for that specific server, it just fails. So he goes on to ask, looking at the documentation, it suggested that Defender, which is a Microsoft AV, or some AV could be responsible for this. My security guy is painfully adamant. I got to use that expression going forward. I am painfully adamant that this is the case. Painfully adamant that our security software has nothing to do with this failure. I'm wondering if anyone knows of any other reason that this could be happening or how I could approach getting more logs to debug the issue. So first things first. So the bootstrapper here in question is actually the Tentacle bootstrapper. So there's a service called octopus.tentacle.bootstrapper that fires off. And one potential source you could go to is the Windows Event Viewer. So this isn't Octopus Cloud. This is Octopus Server running on Windows. And so you could go either to the Windows Event Viewer, or you can go to our logs repository, which is under /octopus/logs. You can start there. You could turn off your AV to see if it is your AV. I know that your security guy said he's painfully adamant that it's not the AV, but you never know. It could be the AV. There could be also permissions associated with this. So the Tentacle service account that runs can execute from its work directory, and sometimes, well, it does require write permissions. Remember, you're pulling packages down, and it requires write permissions to persist those to a temporary location. And so you got to make sure that those DACLs are set up on your file system, because you're running on Windows. Could be a network disruption, could be, at the end of the day, you could do a bunch of things. You could reinstall Tentacle. What I would recommend is taking a look at our documentation and turning on Diagnostics, which is available here. So we have this system diagnostics capability. This is only in server, not in cloud. So if you take a look at the system diagnostics report, this can fire up and give you some detailed system diagnostics there. It's basically a dump of everything that's happening on your instance. You can also do some other checks as well. There is also diagnostics that get written to those log files that I mentioned earlier, but there you go. That's hopefully some of the ways in which we can try and help you there. I hope that helps, Thomas. You can enable verbose logging in Octopus Server if you want, and that's under our diagnostic sessions, but there's a whole bunch of things that you could do. This is basically related to the Tentacle bootstrapper not being able to do its job effectively. I don't know, for whatever reason. So hopefully that helps. Any other suggestions we could suggest to Thomas here? Maybe run somewhere else. I don't know. Anything else that comes to mind?
I think that if that all fails, because there's plenty of stuff there that you've given Thomas to look at, don't forget we've got a world-class support team here as well. So if you get to the point where you haven't gone and found the issue yourself, do reach out to the support team. They are fantastic, and they'll help you get to the bottom of it, I'm sure.
That's a wonderful suggestion, Matt. I don't give enough credit to our support team. They are awesome folks, and they do a great job there. So you can find the ability to contact us under the Contact Us page. There's obviously the support alias there. There's our support page as well. If you go to /support, we are well known for our support. This is something we should mention, obviously. We have support all over the place. I see we got great distribution across the world. We're known for really good SLAs, et cetera, et cetera. So shameless plug. Thanks, Matt. Want to mention this there. So send a note there, Thomas, to our support team. They would love to help you. I don't think they're looking like this. Like they're not on a headset like all the time, like, sell my stock, sell, sort of thing. But it's more like, they take a look at our tickets that come in, et cetera. So we do a good job there. Awesome. All right. Well, there you go. And that wraps up another edition of Deploy on Friday. Any plans coming up, folks, for the weekend, etc.? I know that I've got a bunch of sessions to review for Shipped. You're probably doing a lot of charts and graphs there, Charlotte. Anything else on the agenda?
Just looking at lots of data and lots of words. My brain is a bit fried after this morning, but it's been good. It's been a good morning.
Nice. And you, Matt?
We're entering spring down here in Australia, and that means that the yard's going crazy. So I'm mowing the lawn every week, and I was looking at the hedges last weekend, and I thought I can get one more week out of this. So that's probably my entire weekend will be outside trimming them back, I think. So,
I know that well. Awesome. Well, good luck with your lawn deployment. There you go. Awesome. All right. Well, from all of us to all of you, happy deployments, happy lawn deployments, whatever you call it. And we'll see you on the next one next week. Take care, everyone.